Now, if you don't know, then oh my lord, like what was that? If you don't know, the next 5 legends are coming out today. SDS is having a stream around 6 p.m. Eastern, and that's when they will be revealed. Before that stream, we have to do what we always do. We already have one prediction video out. You guys can go ahead and check out that prediction video, but we're gonna make a second prediction video as well, because the higher number of predictions we make, the higher the chances of us being correct are. That's just simple math. So far we got Jackie Robinson, who will be a primary second baseman, Ken Griffey Jr., primary center fielder, Willie Mays, primary center fielder, Mariano Rivera, clearly a closer, and then Bob Gibson, starting pitcher. Let's go to my next 5, and let's go ahead and see them in MLB The Show 20. Now, in the previous predictions video, I had Honus Wagner as the shortstop. Here, I'm gonna have Ernie Banks. Now, Ernie Banks, before anything he says, make sure you hit that red subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, go ahead and follow me on all my socials, and click on the channel, more Blade Miss section. You get my variety gaming and you get my reaction channel. Subscribe to both. Make sure y'all like this video. Let's get 5 likes because there are 5 new legends. Now, Ernie Banks, this is a 99 overall Ernie Banks. Clearly a starter diamond, is somewhere along the lines of an 85 to 87 overall. Regardless of that, I think for Ernie Banks' starter diamond, we would be getting a pretty balanced hitter in terms of contact and power numbers. They're going to be good numbers all around. The defense is going to be decent enough to actually put out their day one, and then the speed should be decent enough to actually put out their day one as well. Ernie Banks is my first prediction at shortstop. My next one is more of a 2-part prediction. It's for the corner infield. So either David Ortiz is going to go, or the next guy I have coming up. Now, David Ortiz, it's pretty simple. They already did a starter diamond for him last year, so them replicating a new starter diamond for him this year wouldn't be too far-fetched, considering they did it for Mariano Rivera, or they're currently doing it for Mariano Rivera. David Ortiz would probably look very similar, if not exactly the same as this card. Platoon hitter, and first base is usually the most stacked out position. So if I had to make a guess, I think they'd rather dedicate it to third base, since anyone can pretty much play first base. Let's go to third base. Now, following the same storyline, since David Ortiz, or I should say Mariano Rivera, is getting one this year, for the corner outfielders or corner infielders, to me, they're going to select either Gary Sheffield or David Ortiz. Gary Sheffield, the card would probably look exactly like this card. Third baseman, good enough contact on both sides, good enough power on both sides, or decent enough power on both sides. Fielding leaves a lot to be desired. Arm strength is amazing, and then the speed is good enough. So that's probably what we're looking at. Probably, honestly, exactly what we're going to be looking at if David Ortiz or Gary Sheffield get selected. Let's go on now to the catcher, in which I have 2 predictions as well. Now, Jorge Posada, he could be coming in as a catcher for us. He could be coming in as an 85 overall starter diamond. Tell me that would not be great. If you don't use a cap at catcher, having a switch hitting catcher that has good enough contact, actually better than good enough contact, good enough or actually better than good enough power numbers, and then has a pretty decent arm, good enough fielding, and then the speed is okay, but that's catcher, so you don't really expect them to be super quick. But looking at these numbers for a starter diamond, getting a Jorge Posada card, I would not be against it. As a matter of fact, I would be all for it. So if they come out with this 85 overall starter diamond, Jose Posada, or actually, I said Jose, I meant Jorge Posada, or they actually put him to an 87 overall and boost his numbers up a little bit more, that would be fantastic. And I think that this card right here would probably rival everyone's cap and make everyone try or second guess whether to put the cap at short or second base. Next one we're going to look at is Pudge. It could be either Pudge or either Jorge Posada, in my opinion, if we're getting a catcher. And if it's Pudge, I'm not exactly too happy, since I'm most likely not going to use him, since I just don't like his swing at all. But you're going to get a contact hitting catcher with okay power. You're going to have a great defender behind the dish in terms of blocking, in terms of arm strength, and in terms of defense, or fielding, I should say. And then his speed is going to be great for a catcher as well. So you get all those pluses. The only real negative is the power, but he's good enough to go ahead and start on your Diamond Dynasty team. But I don't think he's good enough to start over your cap. to be honest. And if you don't know what a cap is, it's a created player that you create in Diamond Dynasty. Now let's go to the reliever and starting pitcher. So for the reliever, I have Lee Smith. Lee Smith, slider, forkball. Forkball is like a changeup, and he has a cutter, so he has a pretty good repertoire. He has 2 fastballs and then 2 off-speed pitches with different movements to it, and the fastball even has some different movement to it, so you can go ahead and mix up the slider and the cutter. The only downside to Lee Smith is that his delivery is actually pretty readable and pretty recognizable, but the hits per 9 and Ks per 9 and his velocity on that fastball is going to really help you out, especially in the beginning of the game and the latter difficulties as well. So we would be looking at a juiced up in terms of hits per 9, Ks per 9, might get his stamina boosted a little bit and walks per 9 and control boosted a little bit, and that would make a perfectly usable Lee Smith card. Definitely could see him getting a starter diamond, since this is one of the cards that I think is the most underappreciated when it comes to MLB The Show Diamond Dynasty, as we don't really get too many great Lee Smith cards, but I think he was a great closing pitcher slash reliever, whatever you want to call him. Let's go to the starting pitcher. When we go to the starter, who else than Vida Blue? Curveball, changeup, has 2 fastballs. The fastballs come in at good speeds. Unfortunately, only one of them is really usable, and that's that 4-seamer. And then the other downside to Vida Blue is the curveball and changeup are exactly the same speed, exactly the same movement. So if you hang one, all the pitcher or hitter, has to do is sit back and he's crushing it. But I could see Vida Blue coming in as the starting pitcher, and those basically are my 5 predictions for you all. So we got starting pitcher, Vida Blue. It matches out because Bob Gibson is a righty, Vida Blue would be a lefty. When it comes to the reliever, Mariano Rivera. In my previous prediction, I predicted Billy Wagner, not Billy. In this one, I predicted Lee Smith. In terms of catcher, I said either Pudge or Jorge Posada. In terms of third base slash first base, corner infielder, it's either Gary Sheffield or David Ortiz. And then for the shortstop, I have Ernie Banks. So, to cap it all off, let me know down below what you have as the predictions for the next 5 legends coming into MLB The Show 21's Starter Diamond Choice Pack. And go ahead and hit that red subscribe button, like button. Go ahead and turn on the notifications. Click on the channel. Click on the community tab. Interact with me there. Click on more Blade Mist. Subscribe to my other channels. And then once again, make sure you follow me on all my socials, which are listed above me. Have a blessed day and night. Stay positive, stay safe, stay blessed. And I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace out.